gonna snow! Fuck me! Oh, it's gonna snow! Fuck me! Oh, it's gonna snow! Didn't fuck me! It's gonna snow! Didn't. I was like, why am I echoing? It's because I'm hearing myself. Ah! Okay. I got a new mic. I got Nikki's mic. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I probably need to change some settings. I don't know what I'm doing. I leave for college and streamer forgets how to stream. Ah! Switch device, please. Thank you. Also, let's pray the stream doesn't break. That's what we're praying for. That stream does not break with shitty college internet. Yes, we need to have the alert that I'm back in college so the stream might fucking break. Because of course it will. I need to, oh fuck me. I need to do a lot of things. Screeches of unholy pain. Okay, I don't sound too bad. I heard it with my mic muted. I don't sound too terrible. Thank the Lord. Also, you're gonna tell me that Wayward landed in England 2 days before Rambo did? Or was on a flight 2 days? So once again, I have two people that are in the same place as Rambo. What the fuck? This is amazing. Why do I have a notification? Huh. Oh no! Chappell's deleting one of his accounts! Yes. 100%. Jesus, my god. Euphoria comes out today! Yay! Fuck yeah! Discord party? Discord party for Euphoria is a fucking yes. We're watching it in the D&D one. Cause I'm not letting any of you fucks watch it. Because we're just gonna be yelling at Nate Jacobs the entire time. Cause fuck that character. That's all I gotta say. Okay, and that's why I don't post art or anything. I feel like now this is probably gonna pick up everything, so if you hear the church in the background, I'm sorry. Cause your bitch is back in college. We're gonna see just how good or bad the stream looks. I almost clicked on the wrong goddamn scene. But yeah. Let's all say RIP to my face cam for a little bit. Yeah. Let's play Genshin. Ow, my ring just stabbed my palm. AK, welcome back to me being a complete utter fucking dumbass. But hi, how are you? Yeah, we got the mic. She's so pretty, she changes colors. And she mutes. Oh god, I forgot how bad Genshin graphics are gonna be. I have to change a lot of that. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, a rip. Oh no, the music stopped. No, come on, please. Please. Okay. 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 I accidentally left the page. Whoopsie. Okay. We're going. It's just gonna take a while. I have to edit some graphics. Because I don't think my school Wi-Fi will be able to handle it. This is going swell. Can't you tell? Okay, so I know I have to go up, but I have to do this very quickly because I am trying, for the love of all fuck, to get someone. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, I have 130. Oh no, fuck! I have 8 days remaining. I'm not gonna get her. I want her, but I swear, I have it on afterwards. I love all of you, but I don't want to get like 50 million things. Okay. To the tower we go. Oh my god, I can finally play with my hair more, because my mic will no longer pick up my hair being a bitch. Or you won't hear like the rustling in my hair. Hell yeah. Oh, it's a good day. Oh, it's a great day. Oh, I'm gonna kill these guys really quickly. Hey, friends. Yeah! Hi.
Observe!
I love doing too much.
Observe!
Cool. Oh god, you can probably hear my insane clicking. Hello? Oh, there's another one. Nice. Goodbye. Get out of my way. Come on. I'll take that, man. Get out of the rock. Yeah, I was about to be like, that's gonna kill him. And he's over here somewhere. Where? Ah. Bye. Cool. Yes, for stream buffers. Ah, yeah, so the usual. So there's gonna be stream buffering. Yes. The stream buffers, the way Call of Duty usually does. Yeah! Welcome. I know how to fix it. I have to do other magical things, but I can't do that while I'm streaming because we don't get that luxury. Hey, yo! I'm gonna mark this down for later. It's literally already marked. Cool. I can fix it, don't worry. Oh god, I'm in a terrible spot right now. Oh, buddy. I'm in a terrible spot! Oh, fuck. Please get me right here. This looks like a platform. Or, you know, I can
That's
glitch
the
to the
Jade
place I
Chamber.
need to be. Question is, how do we get? That's pretty high. If Paimon's evil, I'm gonna scream. I forget Otto is not a thing.
This is bad. Paimon's supposed to be your guide, but Paimon doesn't know where the way up to the Jade Chamber is.
Caillou.
Well, since we want to go to the Jade Chamber, heading to its location on the map is the sensible thing to do. Let's look around.
My bank account
there
is
has
going
to
to
be a
go
way
rip.
up there nearby.
Especially in this next poll. Alright, search for your way up. Yeah, no. This entire... Ayo.
Hey, look! There's
Ayo,
some
magical
sort of
thing?
mechanism thingy.
How'd you fix it?
Since this is the right
It's either
place,
I can
it must
lower
have
the
something
quality
to do with the Jade Chamber.
of how much my stream is, so instead of it being like 1,000, I can lower it. There's a chest right there.
Yes, this must be the
But
way.
I can't do that while I'm streaming because it will break my, it will break everything. Or I can literally just fight my internet, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, you can... Where did it go? Oh, I was like, am I just being a dumbass right now? Ah, yes. How the Oh, you bitch. I know how to do it. I'm gonna assume I know how to do it. Sorry, Chow.
Just what will we come across this time?
Hi, Lemmy. Let's try this. Fuck. Figured it out! God damn it, I was like, let me get the chest.
Huh? It only takes us up to here. Aw, if that wind current was stronger, we'd be able to reach the top in one go. Huh? Why? Or... Oh, Paimon gets it. If it was a secret, Ganyu wouldn't have let us try to find it ourselves, right?
Yes,
All
and I will
right,
physically
let's
lose
follow
money
your
to
plan.
get her.
Then we can... Oh, hang on a moment.
Yeah.
Look down there.
Streaming's hard.
Looks like we've gotten close to the Guizhong Ballista.
The what?
Paimon has a new idea. Why don't we shoot you up to the Jade Chamber using the ballista?
No thanks, I don't
Oh, right.
chest.
This method does seem a bit unsafe. Oh, that's right.
So we did fix that
Now
for a
that you
reason.
mention it, we could use the Guizhong Ballista to see if there's another way up nearby.
A reward on the road.
What? Oh, I was like, where did everything go? Okay. What direction is that? Oh god, that's incredibly... Nope, I'm not dealing with that shit today. Alright.
Evil shall be dispersed.
I still can't get over the show that his fucking voice actor is a girl. Let's make this easier on me. Oh, cool. It's gonna rain and snow! Love that! Oh god, he has little... Oh boy. The goal is try not to kill this man. Oh! Would you look at that? Thank god he doesn't take bludgeoning damage.
Halt!
Oh fuck.
Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
Exactly.
I'm
What are you
literally just
talking
trying
about?
to get up to the Jade
We're
Chamber.
invited
please.
guests. What makes you can treat us like this. No. Wait! Maybe this was Ningguang's plan all along!
What was
She
her plan?
pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber, but set up a Millilith ambush here to arrest us! Now Paimon's mad! You! Over there! This is a
Chill.
trick, isn't it? How shameless!
It's not a
What?
trick.
We're just on guard duty. What do you mean shameless?
Come on.
What nonsense! Seize these suspicious intruders at once!
God damn, we gotta fight,
Well,
don't we?
here they come! Line them up and knock them down!
Oh no, I hate these guys.
Let's dance.
Nope. Get out of here. You don't get to hurt her. Listen, there's already one person I have on my radar that I genuinely want to fight. Oh, they're level 40. Move! Please not. God damn. Oh shit, one of them's dead. Oh no, he's still alive.
Flags up!
Oh god, I love her shit. His spear does more damage.
Who goes there?
Oh my god!
Take the target alive!
Oh no!
Boring!
Silent.
Attack! Take this!
Flag slide! And leap!
Take the target alive!
I was like, please not boss, god damn it.
Attack!
Useless!
Appreciate Shao for just the random uselessness.
Take
I
the
know
target
they all
alive!
have their outs, I just don't want to deal with it.
With the triad! Bested!
Flags up!
You got bested by someone who barely knows how to play this goddamn game.
Flags up!
There's one more. Where is he?
And leap!
I heard like the little ping of a slime popping up, and I really don't want to have to deal with slime. Alright.
Tactical! 2 arms! Retreat! Attack!
God damn it. Oh shit. Oh no, it's them. Alright, let's make this interesting, shall we?
Take the target alive!
Let the show begin. Go, Barbara!
Have I mentioned I love Barbie's voice actress, but I will miss the original. Hey, fuck off. Ow! Wait until Jean hears about this bitch. Oh shit. Go, 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 go. I can do that too.
Take
Not
the target
exactly what I
alive!
wanted. Where's my shield?
Lithotroya! Attack!
Fly!
Love Jojo.
How it hurts!
Take the target alive!
Alright, he's almost gone.
Take this!
Actually, I need to use that.
Tactical retreat!
Oh, that actually killed him.
Who goes there?
Flags up! Observe!
Hey, you are losing to a primarily group of pole armies. This is gonna go well.
Flags up! Observe!
Alright, fall damage from
Flag fly! And leap! Yeah!
Nice.
Stop! What's all this about?
Is this who I think it is?
Lady Kuching, these two strange people suddenly appeared. They seem
I
to have
simped for
designs on the
them.
Guizhong Ballista.
Who are you calling strange?
Paimon for once?
You want to go to the Jade Chamber?
She's so hot.
Who are you?
We're invited guests here to look for the Liu Qixing. Who are you?
Hi, hi.
Well, as it
hi,
happens,
hi.
I am one of the Liyue Qixing.
Hi, hi.
I'm Kuching, the Yuheng of the Qixing. I know of you, traveler. You're Ningguang's guests, yes? Didn't expect to meet you here in the mountains.
Yeah, because Paimon was gonna try to kill me.
Paimon didn't think we'd meet some super rich big shot out here in the middle of nowhere either.
The Guizhong Ballista in Tianheng Pass has long been in disrepair. And yet, it was fixed in a single night. I came here to investigate that occurrence. These Millilith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone.
Oh, thank God. It's not like I actually
So
threw off a
this
cliff.
was all a misunderstanding?
Yes.
Paimon never would have thought.
Thinking isn't that hard, Paimon.
Anyway,
Bitch.
for a mortal to be able to repair an Adepti mechanism is quite the mystery, even to the Qixing.
That was... Huh? Oh, right. So, Lady Yuheng, might you have any idea why Lady Tianquan invited us to go to the Jade Chamber?
Just call me Kuching. I'd say that Ningguang's
I'm gonna
purpose is to
forget
request
how to
that the
say her
savior of
name
Mondstadt take
as
a
like
more
50%
neutral
of the characters
stance.
we've talked to already.
Or at
that I
least
already...
to not wholly side with the Adepti.
We're not taking sides. We spoke with the Adepti. They want to protect Liyue as well.
When you say protect, you're referring to their sanctimonious arrogance,
Hey,
aren't
hey,
you?
hey.
Huh?
You are mortals and thus under their protection. There was no way they would have regarded you as someone with the ability to assassinate a god. Naturally,
You
they would
wanna try
also
me?
regard Ningguang's locking down the area, questioning the citizenry, and pursuit of the assassin to be pointless work. Perhaps they even wonder if there might be a cover-up. I'll say it like it is. They're underestimating us.
Oh.
Well, you've got a point there. Still, this is the first time Paimon's seen a person from Liyue who doesn't respect the gods or the Adepti.
Should I respect the shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals that has caused them to delay in moving against us, Qixing? Forget it. I shouldn't speak of them this way. This skepticism is mine alone, and Ningguang does not share it. Either way,
Damn, but I love pissing off
I will
God.
admit that the actions of the Adepti this time were quite restrained. Rex Lapis's death is indeed an extraordinary circumstance. But to think that they would call for a council of Adepti rather than come down here directly. How surprisingly civilized of them.
Any chance we could talk it out with them?
Well, for Ningguang, she would talk anything and everything out if she could. But I doubt we can do that here. The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
Another super bold statement.
If I'm really quiet, I'm just taking all
I'll
this
stop
in
here.
because I'm actually very.
Honestly,
I got very
hadn't
invested
intended
in the
to
story
say so
very
much.
fast.
But you're a good listener, Traveler. You
I just
should
have
both
ADHD
be off
that
to the
makes me
Jade
forget
Chamber.
shit too easily.
Don't be late now. Ningguang's schedule is packed to the gills all the way till next year. The cream of Liyue's mercantile crop all see ascending to the Jade Chamber as the greatest honor. Each brings rich gifts as they
Don't we
visit,
also destroy the
all to
Jade
curry a
Chamber?
little favor with
Like
Ningguang.
multiple times.
Favor?
Paimon, get serious.
But,
Paimon, I love you. But
wait,
shut the fuck up.
that's right. Greeting gifts are a staple of Liyue's culture. We need to get one. Not to...
All right. You can decide on your greeting gift yourselves. Let me tell you how to get to the Jade Chamber first. You didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianheng. Go back to Liyue
Oh, so I wasn't
Harbor.
gonna get shot out
Find
of
a
a giant
guide at the
crossbow.
Yuehai
Thanks.
Pavilion, and... Well then. May we meet again, Traveler.
You're telling me I gotta figure it out? No.
Well,
Why?
that Yuheng may not respect the gods, but Paimon thinks she's a pretty cool person.
Exactly, that's why I want her.
What should we give to Ningguang when we see her? Oh, right! Paimon dreamed of an amazing snack last night. Sugar-frosted slime!
Ew.
Paimon has a feeling that it would be perfect for a super rich person like Ningguang.
Please tell me I'm not
Why
actually
don't
gonna
we
make
go
that.
with that for a gift?
So do you have the recipe?
Nope! But Paimon's sure that we just need to make it with some boom shakalaka.
Or, you know, we can get
Let's
the
go
cook.
gather ingredients. Time waits for no one, and neither will our riches.
Paimon. Paimon, I think, owes me therapy. Ah, yes, let's glide until we get there. As long as I don't need to fight anything, we're good. Because if that's the case, Barbara, my soul healer, I'm sorry. I do need to get more healers. I need to pull for more healers.
Ooh, look at that slime. It looks crystal clear and very delicious. That's the one. Serve.
Alright, cool. I should have gotten hit with that. No! I hate these things with a burning passion.
Useless.
Not the slime. I hate the other thing. Again, stop wasting goddamn damage. Did I kill it? Nice. I want a firefly. I want a firefly. Fuck. He's so short. God damn it, I love him. Like, he does not have to be as short as he is.
Huh? Is it just Paimon? Or is there a sweet fragrance in the air? Huh? Did you hear that?
I didn't
It
hear
seemed
any.
like it came from those ruins over there.
Oh, cool. I have to
Uh-oh.
fight things.
It looks like the treasure hoarders have locked someone inside.
Alright, crossbow, knives, and then shoveling dirt. That's gonna be,
There's no end to this.
Flag fly!
Yes, there is. Bye. No. Do not get the fuck out my screen. No. No, Luke. Get him. Okay, the crown's over.
Hunter. Comes.
Alright, he's out.
Watch the costume!
I know you're in desperate need of healing.
Flag fly! Observe!
Kind of the whole party needs healing.
You're open.
Oh, fuck, I forgot all the time. Can you just drown? That'd be ideal. Bye.
You're open.
Kill him. Stop.
You're open.
How much of a bitch would I be if I just didn't open him? Just left him there. Ew.
Thank you for your help, kind travelers.
I like how you can hear the little
If you hadn't come to
change.
my aid, I surely would have rotted in this cell. Those treasure hoarders. When their mood was good, they'd rearrange those pots of sweet flowers. When they were in a bad mood, they'd rearrange my face.
Ow.
Aw, it was nothing. No need to thank us all at once or anything.
I'm on.
I understand. Don't worry. I will compensate you both.
Nice. There's really no
Don't
need.
say that. I only escaped this predicament because of you. I'm Meng Dan, a supplier for Mingxing Jewelry
Oh,
in
no,
Liyue
I'm just
Harbor.
remembering all
I
like, the
often walk around these
storylines
mountains in
that
search of
happened
antiques.
Later on.
I never expected that those treasure hoarders would have their eyes on the same ruins that I had. Before I knew
The
it,
treasure
they'd
hoarders. They go
caught
for
me and
anything that
imprisoned
looks
me.
fucking shiny.
Is there anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure, very...
Wait a moment. Actually, we are looking for something.
Alright, that's as far as my
Oh?
nightstand will let me move it,
And what might that be?
actually.
Do you have a box that can store presents? We'd like a pretty one.
Yeah, no,
The
I-
kind that you can use to store
Yeah, no,
snacks.
that's as far as I can go. Cool.
Of course we do. How can one sell antiques without gift boxes? At Mingxing Jewelry, we have the best gift wrapping service
Oh, so it's
in the
jewelry they
7
work with.
nations.
Nice.
Now just
Okay.
give me a moment and I'll let the boss know. You can go see her whenever you require that
The
box.
who the hell's the boss?
Great! Paimon
The
Sugar
boss?
Frosted
Hello.
Slime now comes in a beautiful package.
Did I already cook the damn thing? Alright. Okay. Teleport there. I hit my mic on my headphones and I got so scared, completely forgetting that there is a shiny thing right in front of me that is moving, capturing my sound. Alright, who do I get to meet?
Hey there! A guy called Meng Dan told us that we could get a nice and shiny box from your store.
Why are we so
Uncle
tiny?
Meng
I don't-
already told me about it.
Oh, I do follow them.
Thank you both for saving him.
I thought I wasn't following someone.
Many of the best goods in our store were found by Uncle Meng. If
Those are so
anything were to
pretty.
happen to him,
Especially those.
it would be impossible for us to continue doing business. Here, this container is itself an antique, with at least 140 years of history.
Also, Ren is doing
It's
a
already
piece
been
that the
cleaned.
Stray Wanderer crew
Will it
was in
do?
Genshin Impact, and they are
Yep,
nowhere
yep,
near
yep.
done, but it's in the works,
Great! Hang on a moment.
and it looks
Can
awesome.
we borrow one other thing?
Sure, please help yourselves.
I was like, why did the
As
voice
long
glitch
as it's
out?
on our shelves.
Traveler, this clay pot looks really awesome.
I'm on.
If we use an antique as our mixing bowl, we should be able to make a great snack. It's done! The one and only sugar-frosted slime! Carefully now. Into the
This
box
traveler
it
looks.
goes.
Lumia
Just
looks so
over
done,
with a
and I
bit
love it.
more powdered sugar.
Oh, yes. You might want to use these 2 freshly picked flowers as decorations, too.
This is so sweet.
Woohoo! It looks beautiful! Great! Now that we've put all that we've
Okay,
got
why did
into
that
this
look good,
box,
though?
Let's go to the Jade Chamber to see Ningguang.
What? How was the way I get there? Icing on slime. I got an achievement for that. Give me that shit. Give me that money. Ow. Also, I didn't catch this on stream, but after I defeated a boss, cat. Sorry, kitty. Why can I not pet the animals in this? But we literally got struck by lightning, and Arena was playing with me, and it was the funniest shit we've ever seen. We were honestly just like talking after we defeated the boss, and then it was like, no. Oh, is that who I think it is?
Worthless!
Again, I'm so glad he does not take plunging attack. That looks hella fancy.
According to Kuching, this is what we should say. Excuse me, do you sell the moon here?
Where are we? Oh, there we are.
Yes. How many would you like?
I was like, that awkwardness.
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
I hate how sometimes I
Ah,
mouth.
well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber. Yes, speaking of which, are you two the guests that Lady Ningguang has arranged to meet with today?
Maybe, absolutely not. Who's asking? God damn it, Paimon.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guests, but for the Yuheng. What's going on here?
Paimon, for the love of all things holy, please shut up sometimes. Ha ha ha. Madam? Apologies. Madam? Apologies.
I've been waiting for you, returnee from Joyun Karst.
It's Ningguang. Since
I literally
this is
have
our
her
first
character.
meeting,
Why have I not?
We've prepared a gift. I hope you like it.
Oh, for me. You have my thanks.
I'm going to listen to her
It
voice
seems
lines
that I
after
have made
this.
things difficult for you, considering that you were supposed to be my guests.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Oh no, it's nothing.
I'm glad you like it too. This palace floats in the skies,
Yeah, 'cause
higher
I was
than
like,
the
I don't
peak
think
of
the
any
voice
mountain.
actress for
From this vantage point, one may
I don't
survey
think she
all
has
of
that
Liyue.
many like things.
I have been
outside of
gathering the
Genshin and
funds
one other
necessary
thing.
to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have
That's so
spared no
pretty.
effort in hiring the
Also,
best
don't we get a
craftsmen to
teleport? Don't we get
constantly
like a
extend
like a
it.
waypoint up here?
At
or like a
first,
teleporter up here?
it was but the size of one room. Now it is
can see
large enough
the-
to
you can
blot
see
out the
them, you know,
moon in the skies above
everything.
Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations. Not many from outside Liyue earn
There's
the
only
right
there's only
to
2
ascend to
nations
the
that
Jade
we've been
Chamber.
to.
But I
Just
have been in
here in
correspondence
Mondstadt.
with the acting
And then we
Grand
also get
Master
the
of the
third
Knights of
one later on in
Favonius,
Acts, and then there's
who
more
spoke
areas
highly
being-
of you.
Because
As
they already have
such,
all the
I
acts
have been
released, so
putting
this is gonna be
eyes and
interesting to
ears
see all the
out
seven
ever
nations.
since you reached Liyue.
Because then we get all the 7
What?
elements, and we get to fuck around and find out.
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to Wangshu Inn.
So you knew we were coming.
Wait, was Vergoldet one of your people?
Just Vergoldet?
Everyone was one of
No.
her people.
Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours.
What did I say?
At the Guizhang Ballista, yes?
You weren't peeking on us from the skies the whole time, were you?
She was.
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people, after all. It would be natural to take an interest. Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited you here was to clear up some
I almost hit my mic.
misunderstandings.
Well, shit. Yeah. It do be like that. It do be well shit. This is annoying, but I fucking want it. Listen, listen. I want that bread.
I believe that you've heard of the Archon War.
Oh, you
Many
brought us
gods
first.
used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until 2,000 years ago. Much blood was shed, and many lives were lost.
As expected.
In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Teyvat.
3 of them we know
They
of.
built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7. You can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis during the war. Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days, gods that failed to seize the title of Archon. Not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is an unimaginable disaster for Liyue.
He's still alive.
But the Order of the 7 will
The
not
bitch is just
collapse
being a
simply
bitch.
because of that. Another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue and the gods and Adepti will surely be different from before.
Oh no.
Even in a new era, the Liyue Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subjects. Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise? Of lacking the foresight to see the certain repercussions?
Oh, I hide.
That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. You were there. You no doubt saw.
I got caught like 4
But
or
our
5
enemy
times.
has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, they will surely gain the upper
Yeah, it's called
hand.
one of those the ginger.
Hiding the Exuvio was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back, to play the spider while our foes scurry about.
Who's this enemy you're talking about?
What do you think, traveler?
Is it him? It's him, isn't it?
Huh? What are you two talking about?
Well answered.
Paimon is so confused. Who?
The scenery out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our preparations to
Yeah, I was
receive
gonna say,
guests
we don't
within
know
are
about our
complete.
brother just yet.
So please, this way.
Yeah, I was like, we don't know about our brother who's literally working for the Abyss at this point. And it's not, it can't be Child. Alright, it probably could be.
Wowee! What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
It's so pretty. Like, this is so goddamn fancy, but I'm trying not to jump off the goddamn railing. Listen, I have urges to do stupid shit. This is not one of them. That will not include me stealing shit.
Be at ease, you two. Make yourselves at home if you
I'm
wish.
a klepto. What did you expect from me?
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends.
I have
And
to
when
change
friends
my
come over
computer
to
time, 'cause I
play,
looked over, it
our
still said it was
enjoyment
6. I was
comes
so
first.
confused.
Naturally.
Ooh! Isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
Yeah, people tell me things.
That's because even the storytellers are talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall. It's super famous.
That's because that wall records Leo's
Ooh,
secrets.
hi.
Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no interest to you, are they, traveler? You're rather special, really, and I think you're quite aware of that.
I'm
If
special.
possible, I'd like to have your trust.
I don't.
But if you were to
I don't
choose
like
the more
how this
trustworthy
scale
person
isn't-
between myself and Kuching,
Ooh, ow, cause this hurt. Ooh, shit.
you'd pick Kuching? Nah,
Yes.
I had a feeling. I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. With someone of her character on the Qixing, I've had some extra messes to clean up
I
behind
really
the
have
scenes.
her in my party.
But
Like, I
after
have her
she
in my
said those
characters.
words,
Ow, fuck.
the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Well, I must say that quite a few of my doubts have been dispelled. I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by rumors of our
I had a
usurpation
feeling
of
it was
power.
gonna be them.
Indeed. It seems that you understood what I meant to say from the very
It
beginning.
is child.
I called for the gag order and for the Exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the
I'm
situation.
assuming. I'm
And
pretty
also
sure it is
to prevent
child.
something similar to the incident in Mondstadt. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomatic remit. As the Tianquan, one
by the way, I'm
responsible
back
for
in my,
Liyue,
I'm back in the chair
I
that
cannot
really
be
likes
too
to,
concerned with appearances when
to murder
opposing
me
them.
sometimes. So if I
Allowing
lean
the
back,
rite of parting
I'm
to
gonna have a
take
heart attack.
place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
I'm not even gonna try to say
It's
its name.
exactly as
Because
Zhongli
everyone
said.
bullies
The
us.
Qixing only provided the venue for the rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say one other thing?
Also, I love how Paimon's like constellations are the
Of
different
course.
like are the different characters constellations.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something in return.
Seriously?
It's all right. I like direct people. Well, we have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently. How about this? You can pick any one object here as you please, and you may take it with you.
Yay! Paimon was just waiting for you to say that. Let's see, what should we get?
We don't talk about that sound.
One of the sheets on that wall.
What?
Don't look at Paimon like that. One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices, even if it's only as large as Paimon's fingernail.
Why, Paimon?
Just imagine how much more a whole
I'm assuming that's gonna be
untorn
one of the things
sheet
we're
would
not
sell
allowed
for.
to take.
Let's grab one. The biggest one. Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the most obvious spot. Let's go with that one.
No, I don't think we're allowed to take this one.
La 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 la. Let's see what's written on it.
I'm assuming.
Huh? There's a place marked with a circle on here. Oh, could it be treasure? Whatever it is, it better make us filthy rich. Let's see what's written over here.
Can I eat Paimon?
Sigil of permission, something, something, Fatui, research, copy. Huh?
Uh-oh.
Aw, that doesn't sound like treasure at all. This piece of paper
I accidentally
shows
flipped
that a
my mic. I'm
Qixing
so
spy
sorry if you heard that.
discovered traces of classified Fatui research on the Sigil of Permission. Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to all kinds of mischief in the shadows of Liyue. Spreading rumors, wanting to get their hands on the Archon's body and whatnot. But research on the
Yeah, so
Sigil
where
of
do you expect
Permission?
to hide a dragon's body
Paimon
at? The
wonders
pits of
what they're
hell-
up to.
The pits of hell?
Speaking of which, there's also some connection between you and the Sigil of Permission.
What?
Seems there's still more for us to find out. Oh, you really think so?
I would assume so.
Well, should we not go then? Oh, so you're saying that it's precisely because we can't completely trust Ningguang
I
that
have to
we
use the
should
bathroom.
confirm the truth of what she says for
I'm not gonna
ourselves.
risk a bladder infection for this.
That's way out of Paimon's
good
league.
fest.
Paimon thinks she's been nothing but good to us. Anyway,
get to
we'll
kill
see
us.
if you're onto
Oh,
something.
wait.
Before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers and see if the Fatui really are up to no good there.
Sorry,
Anything business related. Sorry, anything business related is confidential.
Hi, I don't think I've ever mentioned this. But my door does not fit my door frame. So anytime you just gently push it,
Sorry,
it goes all fucky. Okay.
it's confidential.
Where is it actually located? Oh god! Save myself some trouble. Hello. Nice. Pop. Oh, come on! I was up there! Why do I feel like this is gonna be a boss fight? Or this is at least going to be a fight? Oh no, I see the things I don't like fighting. No! No! Damn it!
Use this first.
No, 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 no.
There really were Fatui at the location written down on this piece of paper. And, they look really mad at us, too.
Fuck! What did I just say? What did I just- who do I hate fighting? These people.
Freshness preserved.
Oh, you're actually easy to get rid of.
Ow! Oh no!
Did he really just say, oh no? The rest of them see me.
Flash frost.
Fuck. Move.
Cold cut.
Fuck.
Flex up!
Fuck. Move.
Stay.
Oh no.
This isn't stage fighting.
In this quickly. Time for a flash freeze.
Fuck.
Chill to the bone.
Okay. Oh, I have a shield up for him. Cool. I need to move out of the way.
Let's not waste time.
Oh, shut up. Ah! Oh, fuck, the shield's gone.
It's no problem.
I might have to do Xiao's ult for this. No, I want to get rid of him first. Shit. Oh, god damn it. And people wonder why I have, like, ranged weapons sometimes.
Almost. No, you're not going anywhere.
I'll race you there.
Flash frost.
And he has a thing, so I can just electrocharge him to hell. Once I get rid of him. That's an amino thing.
Freshness preserved. Voltage set. Chill to the bone. Ow. Oh no. Let's end this quickly. Flash Frost.
Okay, I also am gonna have to heal all of them with Fire Breath. Is he out? Oh, hell yeah, he's out. For Amber.
Almost.
Not so hard! Go, go, Baron Bunny! I'll never surrender!
Alright, Baron Bunny. Hey, 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 Barbara.
Come on, we can do it. Let's dance.
Let's end this quickly.
Shit. Yeah, I need to up Barbara's damage because I don't think I'm doing. Yeah, I'm not doing a lot of damage. Shit. Oh my god. Shit.
Let's end this quickly.
I went the wrong way. I didn't want to. Fuck it. It does not do a lot of damage at the moment. That's fine.
Here! Prepare to die! Worthless! Worthless!
That did some damage. Okay, he's out. Oh shit. Hit the wrong button.
Flags up!
Let's end this quickly.
Why is he just standing? Oh shit! I did not see how much health he has.
I'll race you there!
Oh god, I was like, why is he just standing there?
This first.
Excuse me? God damn it.
Flags up! Observe!
I was like, I think I've defeated most of them enough that at this point it's just a fucking menace. Thank you both for being here so I can just do that. He is almost dead. I need that shield to go down.
And leap. Let the show begin.
Show begin! Again, I will forever miss like her original voice actress.
Let's end this quickly. This first.
Oh my god. A fucking yo?
Flags fly! And step!
Thank god.
Waste time.
Again, I will say this till the day I die. I hate fighting these guys.
Flags up! And step!
Again, God bless having shields.
Flags
Let's end this
fly!
quickly.
And step!
I'll say God bless him
Almost.
continuously having.
I slipped up.
Yeah, you did.
Flags fly! And step!
I
Fucking
guess
thank God.
this is it.
Thank fuck. Again, I hate fighting them.
Useless!
I was like, there's probably more around. Okay. higher. Ah, gotcha. Ugh. I'm so annoyed. Oh, we're not done?
Let's move.
Well, fuck me, I guess.
Shouldn't get careless.
Gotta stay on the ground, please, dude. Thanks.
Ida, this one's well done.
Oh, shit. Oh, I also hate fighting you.
Shut it. Roasted fry. This one's well done.
There we
Need to
go.
hurry up. Feels clogged.
I'll protect us.
Okay, cool.
Flags up.
Hi. Okay, cool. Awesome. Awesome.
No need to stand on ceremony. I'll just take this.
Awesome. I know, I need to... Yeah, I do need to give Barbara a higher... What? I can't have a moment of peace, can I?
Time to fulfill my duty.
I literally cannot have a moment of fucking
This
peace
should be
in this game.
fun.
Ah, shit. Okay.
Not breaking a sweat.
I see the things. I will do it after. I already activated one by accident. Nice.
Flags up. And step.
Alright, good. It looks like they also destroy.
Shut it.
Let me pull out the broken boy really quickly. This shit does the most damage. Alright, back to distance. Oh, what the fuck happened? My screen went black for a second. That has never happened to me playing this game. Oh! How is Shadow's thing already up? Thank you for just standing there at random points.
Hey!
This should be fun.
What else did... What is happening? Oh god fucking damn it.
Not breaking a sweat.
I don't care. I'm amazed I saw that. I'm just gonna be honest. Oh god, he's a lot worse. His shield's about to go away.
This should be fun.
Fuck it.
Flags up.
This is bad.
Prepare to die, fool!
How the fuck did I miss that? Fuck, it didn't go all the way I wanted
Go
to.
on, give me a go.
Observe.
That does 500. That does 500 damage.
Get out of my way.
Flags up.
my duty.
Oh, thank God. I don't have the patience to deal with them right now. Bye. Alright, because I want to do this as well. There we go.
Observe!
Alright, then the last one's over here. Please, tell me that's all of them.
Observe!
Why did I hold it? Oh God, there's actually one more. Again, please tell me that's all of them. I hate fighting them more than anything else.
Observe!
Don't tell me I have to do them a certain way. Cool. Awesome. Gonna do that really quick. I want to redo that because I actually want to keep the waypoints on. Mondstadt, yada yada yada. I see everything else. I don't care. What? They really decided to put...
There are so many talismans here. And Paimon's seen this pattern before. But where?
It's...
Oh, Paimon knows! It looks just like the sigil of permission the child gave
they're
you.
trying to get the,
But how did a relic of the Adepti end up in the hands of someone like... Oh, that's right! Cloud Retainer
Yeah, I was
said
about
that
to
when
be
the
like-
Lord of Geo created the sigil of permission, it wasn't to be used as some old relic.
Because again, it's not like...
that were once
It's
used
not
in
like
the
Cloud
Archon
is
War to
quote
channel
unquote
divine
friends with
powers.
someone.
Maybe the Fatui are copying the sigil of permission in hopes of achieving a similar effect.
But aren't they technically on our
Being
side?
able to channel divine power in battle? Whew. And the plot
I was about to say, because there's
thickens.
no way they would just
We'll
copy
need
that
to
and
keep
end
an
it
eye
there.
on Child, that's for sure.
What did I say?
That's enough sticking around here. We gotta go meet up with Zhang Li soon.
What? Why?
The last stop
Hello?
on our rite of parting preparations tour is Dihua Marsh. Let's go! Paimon hates being late.
Why do I have to meet up with him? Okay, cool. Why? Other than the fact I know he's probably also going to stab me in the back, because everyone in this game ends up stabbing me in the back one way or fucking other. Because that's a boss fight. That's a boss fight right there. We're gonna go around the boss fight. Or that's not a boss fight, it's more of just a menace to my fucking soul fight. Please, board. Please do not attack me. I don't have time for it. Ah, hello you bitch, even though I'm going to be pulling for him anyways.
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago.
That's
Did you
bullshit.
enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
It was so big and pretty and expensive. Paimon's never seen such a fancy schmancy place before.
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I
You can
trust?
see the thing I did in the background.
What did you talk about with her?
She's super rich, and so, yeah, her take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. She thinks that even the tactless Yuheng is more trustworthy than her.
Yeah, because
Oh.
I don't trust people
So
easily.
you also met with Keqing then?
We briefly met.
What did she have to say?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
No respect for the divine.
Coming from you.
Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Keqing, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart. Though they are both members of the Qixing. Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions.
She's fucking highly intelligent.
Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. No ordinary person could ever achieve that. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
As we deadass
The
destroyed
Jade
twice.
Chamber is only second. What's the most important thing to her then?
Power.
Why, Mora,
Oh,
of
god
course.
damn it. I was gonna say either money or power. It makes sense.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui have constantly been trying to sink their fingers into Liyue, and that they aren't to be trusted.
I wonder why.
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't surprise me in the least.
The reason he's so quiet.
No matter what
fucking
they
hate
may be
them.
planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui. Always be on your guard.
Does that include child?
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting in Dihua Marsh?
Again, I'm
Yes,
like
as a
slightly
matter of
bitch.
fact, there is.
But
Today,
I
we'll
don't
be
trust child.
gathering wild glaze lilies.
What?
Glaze lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Eugene Terrace have
Money.
some?
Money boy.
Even Qingse Village has glaze lilies.
There's a reason.
Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers. Maybe we could ask her.
They're for someone
No,
very important to him.
those lilies have all been gardened by people. They won't do it all. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower.
I forgot her
that
name,
listens
but
to
it was
human
the
song.
it was the person.
Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil.
It's because of Agonis.
But the
not
war
Rex
caused
Lapis.
landslides,
used
and the
to be
land
Rex.
was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now.
But
Nearly
he wants
all
them
the
so he can give
glaze
them to her
lilies
'cause
were
he goes
wiped
back
out.
to that same spot.
Of course,
a lot
there are
like,
some kinds
people
of flowers
mention it.
that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very few people know that glaze lilies may still be found in the wild.
Do we have glaze lilies?
Wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies and place the powder in a censer of everlasting incense.
Oh, please tell me
But
I
I'll
don't have
need
to
your
go back to the
assistance in
perfume
gathering
girl.
these flowers. No, I need you to sing to them. Singing to the flowers will
Yeah,
make
his
them more
eyes-
fragrant.
His eyes are different than anyone else we've met.
So how good is your singing? Really?
Tune.
Why doesn't Paimon believe you?
Bitch, they
We'll
get
only
venti.
know once she starts singing.
Isn't there where she? Isn't this where she hums? Isn't this where we get to hear Lamine like hum? Oh my god! Please tell me we get to hear her hum.
It's time to sing. Whenever you're ready.
Da 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 da.
I love Sarah for this. How is that actually cute? Oh god!
These flowers are jumping. They look really angry. Is it because you sang a song for Mondstadt that they don't understand here in Liyue?
Wait, that was from Mondstadt? Oh god, we're in water. I forgot these fucks teleport. Oh god, he's out of the way.
How embarrassing!
Oh fuck.
Black fly!
Oh fuck.
And
I
step.
know I did.
This script needs a rewrite.
Oh god, I hate these. Hey.
Ready, steady, go! Oh, hi.
Alright, cool. Everyone's here for like a reasonable amount. Oh, hello! Terrible decision from the girl who has a bow in her hand.
That's cheating!
Bitch, I can't switch out now? What the fuck? They're both dizzy. It's nice for the time being. it's not gonna hit all of them. Cool.
Observe!
Get in that, please.
Flags up! And step!
Yeah, stay and knock out for me then.
Flag fly!
Bop. Alright, you're incredibly low.
Break a leg!
I did not mean to hit that. Oh shit, I did hit her ult. Alright, watch out. Oh god damn it, he has his shield on. Which is about to be very bad. I love that. Did I just one-shot the shield away? Yeah, no, forget what I said about, you know, everything else. I hate these creatures more.
You'll pay for that!
Shit.
Let the show begin.
This is gonna be bad, because if they hit me, she freezes.
Yeah, hi.
Yep. Which is also another reason why I hate them, because Barbara's my healer. And then there's shit like this.
Observe!
Give me that shield for love ball. Fuck. Oh, damn it.
Observe! How embarrassing!
Oh my god.
Useless.
Have I mentioned my hatred? No?
Get out of my...
Hey, friend. Oh, thank God.
Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
Ah! Yes, they would. Yes, they fucking would.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower.
A fucking what?
Strange. These petals look interesting.
A fucking what?
The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value. Let's collect what we can of these petals.
Well, that's nice and all, but will those petals be useful for the rite of parting?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, shit.
That's so lame.
Excuse me.
Gaia!
Are you searching for glaze lilies?
Oh, hey! It's... What's-her-face? Paimon can't remember.
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name.
Because I love you as well.
Ah, that reminds me. How was your
You
visit
were
to
the
the
other
Jade
person
Chamber?
I'm going to spend all my money
Sure
on
would
getting.
have been better if you told us how to get up there.
Don't be a bitch.
Didn't I tell you the way? Surely I did.
If I get her, Amber's no longer gonna. I will literally ditch Amber.
Oh, I see.
No!
Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget
No,
to tell
please,
him.
not the beloved. The beloved, no.
Something seems a little off about Ganyu. She's acting different from the first time we met. Where's her serious attitude now?
Paimon, shut
Oh,
the fuck up.
well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now, I am simply out on a stroll to see the flowers.
I love her.
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of the city?
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear it.
She's sad because
Whenever
her
my
backstory's
duties
fucked.
take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the gardens.
Oh, sorry. We shouldn't have brought it up.
No,
Again,
it's quite
there's a
alright.
lot of like fucked up like
I
things
just
to
haven't
mention,
processed my
especially with, like,
emotions
certain
yet.
characters like Gaia.
When the
It's,
Archon
she
War
has an
came to its
ED,
end 2,000
so
years
she
ago,
can't have, like, the
the
best,
first
like, so
iteration
she
of the
can't eat a lot
Seven
of
would
food, she has
gather in
the best
Liyue and drink with
body.
Rex
It's very
Lapis.
fucked.
But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis. It's truly a changing of the guard. Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7.
That is not true.
The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years
Yeah,
ago.
Raiden Shogun's still alive.
Of the current 7
And I'm
Archons,
also pulling for her.
the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. She is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was
shit,
more
she's
than
still there?
6,000 years old at the time of his passing.
Again, weird Lily
This
talking.
means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago. The city has never had to bid farewell
I like
to
how we're
its
talking
deity.
about this right in front
So
of
what do
him.
you think of this farewell?
Ah, shit.
Huh? This is a little
Oh wait,
sudden.
no, these are both the
I-
people who come out next banners. Oh god, rip to my bank
As
account.
a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis.
Oh no,
But
baby.
as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality.
Yo,
Since
it
Rex
cold in my
Lapis
room,
has
even though the
passed,
heater is on and the
the
AC is
time of
on.
Liyue's contract with the gods and Adepti has now reached its end.
Huh? Did you just say as an Adeptus?
Yes, I am a mix of human and Chilean.
Yeah.
Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis and the city of Liyue during the Archon War.
That's why I love
After the
people.
war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. Well, let's save that conversation for another day. You say that you are here
Yeah,
looking
ironically,
for
both
glaze
their
lilies?
banners are coming up.
I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See,
Again,
I've just
RIP
picked
my
one
bank
myself.
account,
Here,
hey.
you may have it if you wish.
We dare not refuse it.
God damn.
Oh, so did you sing a song before you picked the lily?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Whoops, we have
Wow,
never once
so you
sang
really
our
know your
goddamn
stuff,
lives.
too.
My bad.
Thanks, Gunyu.
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting,
Aw, baby.
I never thought that I would be able to contribute to the upcoming farewell for our ancient lord.
Jesus
If you would
Christ.
excuse me, I should return to my work now.
Why is
Good
she
luck.
so...
And that just about does it. Our preparations for the rite of parting are mostly finished. Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks, in more ways than one.
Me fighting a bunch of
I
frost
can
flowers
already
and want me
imagine
dead?
you starting
Yeah,
a
that's
business in
fantastic.
Liyue.
I've had enough ventures in my life already.
I wonder why.
Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first.
I'm so glad you guys
and
can no longer
requires
see
no
my
small
face, which
amount
again,
of
the face
effort.
cam will come back when I get home.
And once business is at full steam, the stress of it all only wears away at you over time. So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself. If left unchecked, the wear and tear on your heart may go well past mending.
Wow. See? Xiangli sounds like he's already seen it all. Alright, I think it's about time we head back to Liyue Harbor now.
This is a face of, I wonder why. It's not like the fucker has already lived through it. Again, I'm petty when it comes to this man. I should probably heal first, shouldn't I? That would probably be ideal. Is there a statue of the Seven nearby? Yes, there is. I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm not dealing... Hell yeah. I do need to utilize Barbara more. Son of a bitch. There was actually a struggle. Hey, friends.
Huh? What happened? The city gate is swarming with Millilith and the Fatui?
Why is his name Felix? Why does he have...
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume.
Do we get to meet...
The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act rashly.
Me who wants to fight...
Desperate times?
Me who wants to fight...
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
The what?
Do they intend to exercise force?
Oh shit, is that that?
Most likely.
Fuck.
I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti outside the city.
Isn't it?
However, both sides were quite obstinate
I didn't stream
and
it.
hit an impasse.
It seems
because
inevitable,
I struggled with
given
those
the
domains.
current
If I would have
situation.
streamed, I probably would have actually lost
The
my
Adepti
mind.
do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo Archon. If the two sides come to blows,
And
Liyue
we
Harbor
also
will be
have
in no
a
position
contract
to
with
stop
them.
them.
Or
Surely the Liyue
We have-
Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
when it comes to a god, they might.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what
Let
now?
me guess. We have to be the peacekeeper.
How is it that the Fatui have come under fire?
That's all Ningguang's doing.
I was about to say.
She
maybe
proclaimed that in
because-
these tumultuous times, the
maybe because
Millilith
they
must
do
rein
shit?
in the actions of the Fatui.
Maybe it's because they
Only
fuck
now
with
do
shit
they
that they're
want
not
to start
supposed
keeping
to.
tabs on us? That's the Qixing for you.
Oh god.
Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on
Does
us.
he have a contract with
Don't
Child?
let anyone catch you off guard.
Does he have a
It
contract?
looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides?
You're gonna force me into
Or
it, so
will
why
you
not?
use your sword to turn the balance? Neither path is an easy one.
Shut up.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off with the authorities.
Do we get to meet her? Do we get to meet her? Do we get to meet her? Do we get
Things
to
are
meet her?
taking a turn for the worse.
Do we get to meet her? we
I'm
get to meet
afraid
her?
I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. I hope that Master Hu has been able to keep
Please
things
tell me we
under
get to meet
control
her.
for the moment.
Please tell me.
Consider your next course of action carefully, Traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion, it may be wisest to look for the fuse first.
Or, you know, I can just fight a god.
Having connections with the Fatui seems to be quite the double-edged sword.
Yeah,
So what does Zhongli mean by looking
ginger
for
guy.
the fuse? Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned upside down, it's definitely him.
It's the one fuck that's
he must
probably
be
gonna...
waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do something really
Yeah,
bad.
it's not like my dumbass
Well,
accidentally
where
gave him
can
more
we find
information.
him now? Where would he go at a time like this?
There's only one place he would go. Isn't there an easier way at the Golden Hour? Oh god. Teleport. Is this where Child proceeds to stab me in the back? Is this where I'm about to get my ass kicked? Doggos! There was doggos! I appreciate the doggos. Okay. Up we go. Please don't make me fight the gym. Please do not make me fight him. Like, please. As he is the literal definition of a boss fight. I don't want to have to fight his ass. So please, no. What did I just say? This is gonna be fun, isn't it? I need to level up Barbara. So 40, 40, 40, 30. Watch me suffer with this domain for 30 minutes.
Wow! This is the Golden House?
I was joking. I was joking.
It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And so
It's called the
full
Golden
of
House for a reason.
Mora.
You are also gonna hear me go
This is
dead
where all of
fucking
Tibet's
quiet.
Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't know. Oh, so it's a trap. Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here.
Bitch.
But even if we can't take any, we can still have a
No.
closer look, right?
No.
Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora. Oh, right. Back to business. It's quiet. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble.
Again.
Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
And this is where I have to fight Child probably 3 times. Because again, and you have the normal Child, the fucking Berserk one, and then you have the ultimate. Yes, I know of this fight. And I'm gonna be here for a fucking while.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here?
Shut up!
Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Huh? Who's there?
Who the fuck do you think?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Although I'm deeply grateful to you
He's a
that I was
Hydra
able to
too, so this is
effortlessly
gonna
find
be-
this secret
this is gonna be
location.
hard.
Don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort?
No, because I frankly...
Stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia.
No, because I want to fight you
The
now.
Cheesing are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
Yes. What the fuck
As
did
one
you
of the
expect?
11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled.
Again.
She will get
I called
that
it.
which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway.
I can quickly
The
stab
time
you.
for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do as the Tsaritsa deems fit. Either way, we now come to my favorite part.
Oh, the
A
fight.
simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you.
I got to stab.
The battle.
Yep.
Battle? So you're the type that goes, look!
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished.
What did I say?
Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the
but again,
knights to
she's
come
also
running
gonna get
towards the
sliced
sound of
by
battle
a
now, would
beauty.
she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission. But as for me, the
Again,
greatest
you
pleasure
can't
of
see
being
my
a
face,
harbinger
but I'm
lies in
sick and
crossing
tired of
blades
monologuing
with
and I just
strong
wanna stab
opponents.
him.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me?
Yeah.
Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle.
Fuck.
Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see you live up to it. This chance is hard to come by.
Oh, 37?
So show me all you've got.
Oh, let's go!
So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint.
I hate him so fucking much.
So quick to flee.
Fuck.
A fine opportunity.
Bye.
Serve!
Give me that.
Cowering already? A clear shot.
Oh shit.
The curtain's not down yet.
Oh god.
Let's dance.
Okay.
How unbecoming.
Ouchie.
Oh fuck. I hate you.
Kill you like
No, let's do it.
Evil conquering!
I hate him. Oh, you son of a bitch, he was right there.
Cowering already?
No. Oh shit! I hate that he says that.
Try this.
God damn it.
This script needs a rewrite.
I know.
Passable left.
Flex up.
Griff, you're making it really easy for me to hate you.
Flex fly. Sidestep.
And out of the way.
You've made some progress. Poor time. Passable effort. So
Observe.
quick to flee. Poor time.
Strike is one.
Passable effort. Try this.
At this point, I really need Barbara.
Cowering already?
Where am I supposed to? I hate him! Have I mentioned this already? I'm pretty sure I mentioned how much I hate him.
You're wide open.
He's not gonna stay there enough for me to do her ult. is
So
he?
quick
Yes,
to
he will!
flee.
That's cheating.
Celestial Voyager.
Oh shit! Move!
Bet you can't keep up with me.
How unbecoming.
Again, I hate him. Son of a bitch. Where is he? Right there.
Shut it! Boring!
Cowering already?
Let the show begin.
Yeah, her thing is actually almost done.
You've
No, it
made
doesn't
some
do a lot.
progress.
Oh no! Go, Barbara, go! Oh, hi.
She's almost out, and I've healed, so.
Celestial Voyager.
Okay.
Is this retribution?
I hate him so fucking much. I'm gonna say I hate him yet again, knowing my ass I'm gonna pull for him. It's actually pretty easy to dodge.
Not bad.
Ow.
Not bad. Not bad. You've got a Haha, good.
Oh,
wonder
no, I
Timur
knew
was
it!
so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
Let's dance. Hi.
I literally hate
Raging Tide!
I healed him. Damn it.
Oh no! And step.
My turn.
Useless. All you do is run.
Am I running?
Crush you.
Damn it. Oh god. Not this part. Oh my.
Break.
What's gonna happen? I'm laughing at the fact that I'm a dumbass who expected this to happen.
I'll race you there. This isn't.
Flag fly! Observe!
You've got some skills.
She's almost ready.
Something else catch your eye?
Just the fact that you're a prick. Just the fact that I cannot wait.
All you do is run.
To beat your ass.
This.
There's no way I can this man. Okay.
Break.
Look at that.
No use hiding back there.
Oh god, I did not mean to. I just hit like 4 buttons at the exact time.
Hard.
That I did not mean to hit.
Flags up.
Oh, I still got him.
Flag fly!
Step.
Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh, this is gonna hurt like a motherfucker.
Something else catch your eye?
My ever-abunding life.
Useless.
You could probably hear me aggressively fucking clicking.
Let's dance.
Oh, isn't this where like one of the best fucking cutscenes?
All you do is run.
Oh my god.
Flag fly!
Go.
And step!
There we go. Oh, here we go. Where is he? Where is he?
Flag fly! And step!
Got him. I got him last minute.
Get out of my way.
I forgot about
Not
this
bad.
scene.
Your swordsmanship is quite impressive.
I forgot
But
about that scene.
that's about as far as you'll get.
Yes, for this one particular scene. This scene is hot though. Not gonna lie. Doesn't even fucking. Oh no.
Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia.
Yeah.
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now.
Oh, fuck. Oh?
I see. Well, this is most unexpected.
Yeah, he's fucking alive.
You beat me to it, didn't you?
Oh, rip. No, just he's alive still. Please tell me I don't have to fight. Again, I'm so glad you can't see my face. Because I want to kill this man myself.
Not bad. But this is going to cost you!
I'm still gonna pull for him. Please, Paul. Please tell me don't fuck my life. Hey! Hey!
You got to the Gnosis was ahead of me.
No, I did not.
Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose?
No.
No matter. Hand the gnosis over, now.
You're not getting it.
Don't make me take it from you.
I don't have it.
We didn't take it.
I don't have it.
Oh, hi.
This was my favorite. Damn it, never mind.
Flags up. And step.
Nice.
Disappear!
I know he's not gonna stay there. It's worth a shot. Son of a bitch, I forgot about that.
Worthless! The day is finally
I don't have anything to revive. Fuck. Where is he? I hate him.
Devour!
No, God, move. I'm right away.
Hi. Yeah. Oh, hi.
die here.
Oh God, move, Barbara.
Oh, has everyone stopped singing?
I'm not gonna win this one.
Black fly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna win this one.
Got her!
Black fly. And leap.
Oh shit. Well, fuck me, I guess. So I'm doing this with a... Oh God. So I'm doing this...
I'll race you there.
So I'm doing this without a healer and without my main DPS. Sure. If my
Stay in
shield,
character.
if my shield,
Break a leg.
that'd be fucking fantastic. Fuck, go, 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 go.
Black fly.
Die here.
Yeah, no, fuck me.
Flags up. And leap.
Yeah, because I don't have any fucking revival items.
How embarrassing. Flags up.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do this just with Amber.
Not so hard. Tired. Flex up and leap. This isn't stage.
Die here.
Flags up and leap. Thank you. And
You train me to live and fight another day as some strategy. Please tell me I don't have to do that. If I do that all over again, I'm gonna scream. I do that all over again, don't I? I will fucking do this off stream because it's gonna have to happen. about to be like, isn't there a waypoint that's closer? No, of course there's fucking not. And this is why I fucking hate Child. If I have to redo that entire thing, I'm ending stream, I'm doing it off stream. Because I'm not doing that over again. But I feel like that's gonna be the case. Because it's a domain, it's gonna make me do it all over again. Fuck me. Because I've really left domains by accident. Yep. Please just let me skip the fucking dialogue.
Wow! This is the good. It looked impressive enough. This is where all of Teyvat's Mora is minted. Oh, so it's a trap. But even if we can't, or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain. Oh, right. It's quiet. Huh? Look! What happened? Uh-oh. Quick! We have to go.
I didn't make food! I don't give a shit. I need to go cook shit to heal. Or to revive people. Alright, since I'm gonna have to redo that all over again. That's not what I need. Where's the place I can cook? Thank God. Yeah, I was about to be like, I'm pretty sure. I'll say, I really hope she gives me some cooking bonus. She has a 12% chance to receive double product. I didn't fucking switch. Ah, fuck. Fuck yeah. Alright, I'll make a couple other dishes. Okay. And I don't fucking want to do this. Because I will literally end up killing someone. Or I'm gonna get something fucking thrown. Yeah, no. No, this fight I'm doing off stream. I'm not suffering with this bullshit. I'll do the dailies really quickly. Fuck. Just for right now, I'm doing these. Just so I can waste some time. Because fuck that fight. As long as I don't have to do anything here, I'm fine. Because I fucking hate these fights. It's also just because I'm a fucking dumbass. They're all on top of me, aren't they? Of course they are.
Flag fly! Unleash! Flags up! Flag fly! And step!
Many mortals fear lightning. Incomprehensible. Fear of something so common.
Someone literally say they don't like the storm movie?
Useless.
I don't want to fight more Hilly Bros. Probably gonna get. It's. Alright, first off, give me this. Claim. Switch.
Ooh, you're taking me out?
Yes. Why? Because you are gonna do some fucking shit. Level it up really quickly.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister. La da da da.
What the fuck? And this is why I brought her back. Cause she can do some shit. Yeah, I'm not doing Child's Fight on stream. Fuck that. Where? Where? Oh. Holy shit! I got rid of the one person I could use to fuck my life. And also because I'm not going through all that fucking dialogue alone.
Come a little closer. You've been a naughty boy.
Get out of my way!
Black Fly! Unleash!
Oh, fuck,
And step!
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm progressively just getting more pissed off. I don't care. That's all you have to do for that challenge, is literally just get rid of them. I don't even care if I kill the bosses anymore. Or the mobs. Because I'm so fucking annoyed! Hi, friend. Yeah, I was about to be like, I probably don't have any. Okay, fuck. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm not getting level 50 within the period I need to. Oh shit, yeah, that's right. I got rid of some of their, fuck. I got rid of some of their things. Yeah, I got rid of most of their... Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. I still don't understand what the fuck most of this means. Where the fuck am I going? Right, I need to get Timmy. I need to feed the fucking ducks. So they stop attacking. Why is
Demons do not stop for the raid. Move.
I'll do one after I defeat Childs. I will fucking kill those pigeons. Yes. Are you fucking kidding me? I hate this kid so fucking much. I hate him. I love that after that he just fucking disappears. It's great. I know, I see it bitching at me.
Ad Astra. Thank you for completing today.
Oh shit, okay. Alright, let's see. Who do I want to raid? I'm like pretty sure no one's really online. But that's fine. What am I looking at? What the hell am I looking at? Okay. Sneak is live. I was gonna do Carl, but he's watching something. Alright. I was like, did I really just misspell raid? Alright. Thank you for watching, even though this is fucking incredibly painful. Yeah, I'm gonna defeat this off stream because I have little to no patience. But yeah, bye bye.